Kingsman the Secret Service is directed by Matthew Vaughn and stars Colin Firth as an action star. The basic plot of this film is Colin Firth stars as a Kingsman agent, the best agents ever, who use their environment or whatever they can use at their disposal to fight off bad guys, and he ends up finding this young man, his name is Eggsy, played by Taron Edgerton, who decides to take him under his wing because not only was his father once a Kingsman agent like him, but he believes this kid's got something special. After an awesome pub fight, he ends up taking him under his wing to become, quite possibly, the next Kingsman agent. And they're all agents that are kind of like Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. They all have chivalry, they all have their codes, they dress nicely, they have cool shoes, grenades that are like lighters, and it just becomes such a cool movie that I don't think anyone was really expecting to be good. Like, I'm not kidding here. I don't think anyone was really expecting this movie at all. I remember watching the trailer towards the end of 2014, and I was thinking to myself, why am I going to go see this? This movie looks like a cliched mess. It looks like we've seen this a billion times. Yeah, it does have cliches in it, but that's the point of this movie. Now let me talk about the cast first. Colin Firth is incredible in this role. It's just so surprising to me just how cool of an action star he became. Because this is the guy who was in The King's Speech, but he was a badass who kicked so much ass throughout the entirety of the movie, which was just so cool because you got to see him use the environment to his advantage to just destroy everyone. And a cool little umbrella trick, which I don't want to spoil, you guys need to see that, but it's really cool how he does it. Also, there's another scene involving a little fight in a church. But I think the guy that really shined in this movie was Taron Edgerton, who played Eggsy. This kid was terrific. I want to see him in more movies because I'm pretty sure he's a new actor. I really haven't seen him in anything else. But I think that he did a great job at parodying everything wrong with James Bond by trying to do a lot of the reversals for that. And if you guys have seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because this movie is truly, truly making fun of James Bond. Speaking of very over the top, we have the villain played by Samuel L. Jackson, who has a lisp. Now, about that lisp, it took a little while to really, accept Samuel L. Jackson talking like that, because the lisp was, very silly, but after a while, you kind of realized they're really trying to make fun of James Bond, once again in this instance. Villains who just sound silly, and all they want to do is take over the world. I also really like the actress that plays Roxy in this film, who's also trained to be another Kingsman agent besides Taron Edgerton. I think she's also very interesting. I haven't seen her in any other movies, so it would be cool to see them in more movies, because I think these two have an immense amount of talent, and that really drove the movie for some of its uneven scenes. And when I said that it did go against James Bond movies, I also think it tributes them in many ways, as well as a ton of other spy movies, by using outlandish gadgets, cool cars, cool jets. They use all of these over-the-top ridiculousness. The plot itself is over-the-top and ridiculous, the action's over-the-top and ridiculous, but it's really made to tribute the action and spy films, and I think it did it very well. And finally, Michael Caine. This guy I love. If you guys have watched any of my reviews where he's in it, I have stated that Michael Caine's in it, and he is amazing, because Michael Caine's voice is just one of the best voices of all time. He has just this awesome voice that carries through every second of film he is in this movie. Alongside that, I think that there are some brilliantly crafted training montages that did not bore me whatsoever. In fact, they did the exact opposite. And if you guys have seen the movie, I don't want to spoil it to you guys in case you haven't seen what happens, but there's one scenario that involves water, and it is absolutely breathtaking, and I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. I do think there are some problems with the movie. I do think that it is uneven at times. I didn't really care about Eggsy's family storyline. It just didn't really affect me on the emotional note I think it could have. But I do think that the biggest issue with this movie is the ending. Now, this is one of those like it or don't like it endings, because I think that the payoff to it is incredibly silly. I just didn't think it was needed, as well as so many people I've talked to. But I think the very, very ending of this movie completely ruined everything it was trying to do. Overall, guys, Kingsman's got laughs, it's got violence, it's got guys getting hit in the crotch, it's got tons of stylish direction by Matthew Vaughn, which is very, very good. I think he was the right person to direct this movie, and Colin Firth, showing that he can kick ass in an action movie, was fantastic. I'd like to see him in more action films because I think he can do it. And I honestly think that Taron Edgerton pulled off a great performance as a newcomer, and I would definitely like to see him in more stuff because this guy's got talent, as well as the actress that plays Roxy. These two guys were great. I had a very fun time with Kingsman, and you guys should definitely check it out, and it will probably be on my top 10 films of 2015 list. I really enjoyed this film, so I'm going to give it a B+. So what did you guys think about Kingsman? Did you like it? Did you hate it? You somewhere in the middle? I love to do those comments, so send them in the comment section below. You guys are the best. Thank you guys, and stay tuned.